How's it going, guys? Today I would like to discuss with you the Awc announcement that just got released for both the MDI and the Arena World Championship. There's a little bit changing this year, and I think there's a lot of, negativity drawn around the tournaments with what happened last year with the funding kind of feeling stolen. And honestly, the format this year, it looks like it's going to be smaller, and I feel like a lot of people are disappointed. There's supposedly no games or tournaments at BlizzCon, which I'm going to discuss. First thing I would like to discuss, I don't really want to go too much into the MDI because I don't really know much about it, and I don't even know what the format was last year to compare it to. But what I would like to say is that the prize pool is $300,000 compared to the $500,000 prize pool of the Arena World Championship. Somewhere in here I could probably find. There it is. Last year it was $250,000 for both, I believe. Maybe it was a little bit more, maybe 280K or something. So I'm a little surprised to see that MDI didn't get the same bump up as Arena. And quite frankly, it kind of shocks me as well. I feel like MDI, in terms of viewers, actually technically does better. And I'm just kind of surprised that it feels like one is being favored more than the other. You would think that both aspects of the game, they would want to create equal. And I basically want to touch up on this because I feel like if MDI was higher than the Arena World Championship, there would be an outroar of PvPers. But I feel like the same outroar for PvEers can be, expressed in this situation that their side of the game isn't feeling like it's worth as much or valued as much. So it's a little strange to see both of them not equal. I'm happy Arena's higher, but obviously that's personal bias to think that the PvEers are getting screwed on this one. And it's actually more popular, so it's a little strange on that. So sorry to everyone that wants to do MDI. Secondly, we can go over all these changes. It's definitely going to be different this year. Like I said earlier, there is not going to be tournaments at BlizzCon. Now, as a competitor and as a spectator, someone who's went to BlizzCon for both, this kind of makes me a little bit sad. Competing on that BlizzCon main stage, I think, is the goal of everyone that competes, at the professional level in WoW, and possibly even for every esport game for Blizzard. You want to be on that main stage at BlizzCon. It's kind of like what you're working for all year. Now, there's still going to be a championship, finals. I'm not sure where. I'm not sure, if it's going to be in a big, if it's going to be a big spectator event or not. But either way, if you're someone that goes to BlizzCon every year, and now you got to fly out to see your favorite competitors at a different event, that's going to be a little strange. I think this is BlizzCon is always a great way for you to meet your favorite streamers, your favorite players, and connect with them. It's something that everyone is kind of already wanting to do or wanting to go to. I feel like not having games at BlizzCon or tournaments at BlizzCon, it deprives you of that. It takes it away. And something really did seem strange last year when we saw that a large portion of the games weren't even streamed at BlizzCon. I'm pretty sure some teams were eliminated backstage before they even played on the main stage. I could be wrong about that. I don't know exactly, but there was a lot of games that weren't actually streamed at BlizzCon last year, and I kind of felt like something was up. And I guess it's something that Blizzard wants to do moving forward, because what I want to say is, while everyone is probably really upset at this change, including myself, I don't want to say really upset. I would say more or less disappointed. I've been to BlizzCon 5 different times now, and every single time being on that main stage, it is electric. You see the crowds, you hear them cheering. Out of every single game at BlizzCon, WoW is always the most packed, and that might sound biased, but I'm telling you, people are standing up because there is no more chairs. There was literally it broke the fire code or something. There was so many people there. So it's really sad to see that, but what I want to say is that Overwatch is the only game left at BlizzCon, I believe. I don't think StarCraft's there anymore. I don't think Hearthstone's there anymore. So it's not like they're just saying, you know what? We're getting rid of WoW at BlizzCon. So this isn't something that I would say scares me. It's something that they're trending towards with all of their games. And I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's too expensive for them to have all those venues there. Maybe it's something that they want to spread out. But this is not something that is only... Oh, maybe technically Overwatch is played at the Arena. Okay, so maybe there's no games at BlizzCon anymore. I don't know. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's just gotten too out of hand because they have so many esports now. Excuse me. I know we're upset that games aren't at BlizzCon, but you can't interrupt my video. You can't interrupt my video. Ari's pissed off right here. So yeah, it's upsetting for sure. Um, so let's go ahead get into the format. Beginning this spring, which up for interpretation. Registration for AWC's online cups, all online cups are for $10,000. That's the same prize pool as last year. Anyone can sign up. There's Cup 1, Cup 2, Cup 3, Cup 4 for NA, for EU, and then there's BFA Finals, and this is something that I'm going to touch on in a second. So last year, there was 2 seasons of 6 tournaments. Is that correct? There was 2 seasons of 6 tournaments. Now there's 1 season of 4 tournaments. We lost a lot of tournaments here. It's something that when you're looking at it from the outside in, it looks horrible. It's like, wow, we went from 12 tournaments to 4 tournaments. We went from 3 lands to 1 land. It looks pretty bad. I'm not going to lie, guys. It looks pretty bad. But what I want to say is that the North American and the European finals going into the BFA finals are going to be, instead of like 1 team and 2 teams from EU and NA, it's going to be 4 teams from each region. If you're from like Australian or if you're a Brazilian, you have to compete in the other cups. Yes, you're going to be disadvantaged because you have latency, but they're not giving those designated spots anymore to those people, which are almost essentially free spots. So there's 4 cups and there's 1 final, and this is going to be the BFA Finals is the BlizzCon of this year. I'm not sure where it's going to be at. I'm not sure if it's going to be a spectated event. But the reason why they're doing this is because we actually had a meeting. I want to discuss this is because the way the timeline is going here, Shadows of the Imminent Future loom. The Arena Championship will start up once World of Warcraft Shadowlands has been released. So what this is looking like is Shadowlands is going to release around that BlizzCon timeline, which means they don't want to continue with the trend of you qualifying in one expansion and then playing in another expansion. And this, in my opinion, is good. We have multiple scenarios where, I'm not going to name any specific competitors, but you play in a new expansion and you cheese your way to a win. All right? I can't think of any Lively Spirit players that have cheesed the BlizzCon finals, but no, let's be real. Demo Mage, Frost Mage, basically one-shotting everyone. The whole meta being completely screwed up in Legion with Demo Enhance and Beast Cleave. And then obviously when we won with DH Boom, it was absolutely ridiculous. So I think the esports team has finally come to the conclusion that they don't have enough time and they don't have the power to balance the game quickly enough for a finals to be revolved around that. So I think this is something good. And although we're only getting one land this year, which is obviously incredibly disappointing in my opinion, but those 4 cups, it basically feels like if you get screwed in these 4 cups or you're not in the meta, you are done. You're done. Your whole year is over. Now, the only redeeming factor about this is it says Shadowlands is released. Azeroth's fiercest gliders will be tested more than ever. The Arena Championship will start up. So basically what this means is as soon as Shadowlands is out, tournaments will probably start up for that almost immediately. So we're getting started in spring this year. I would say next year I would expect to get started in January or February. You know what I mean? So we're late to start this year. We're early to start this year. If there's no Shadowlands releasing, if there's no new expansion releasing around the BlizzCon timeline next year, will there be a World of Warcraft championship at BlizzCon next year? I'm not sure about that. So guys, can you relax? I'm recording a video here. You guys are so disrespectful. This is insane. Just my disrespectful 4-legged kids. I can't. You know what? Horrible dogs. That's it. We gotta get rid of all. Anyone want a dog? But in all seriousness, so so looking ahead right here, Shadowlands, whatever. AWC first tournaments. Shadowlands will host 2 crucial competitive seasons. So once again, immediately, already stating that they're going back to a 2-land tournament or 2-land season, I guess. So right here we only have the 4 cups to 1 land. Already showing next year it's going to be cups, land, cups, finals, which means that this could be BlizzCon again. All these changes of Mythic Dungeonal, International, and Arena World Championships mean that while esports events have typically taken place towards the end of the year, such as BlizzCon 19, don't worry, we still have plans in the works and we'll have more to share later. So there's possible more tournaments that maybe they haven't gotten all the stuff done yet, or they're still trying to work stuff out. But I will say that from the outside looking in, it is a little disappointing. But if you look towards the future, it's possible that'll end up better. Does that make sense? So I feel like there's a lot of negativity right now around this announcement, and I think a lot of players that were really disappointed when the meeting came out. I would love to see games at BlizzCon every year, but what I want to say is I'm happy that you're not qualifying in one expansion and playing in a different expansion. I'm happy that it feels like there's no more free spots at BlizzCon, and basically you have more chances as a European or North American to actually qualify to BlizzCon, who are generally the better competitors there. And then obviously the prize pool. You know, I haven't really gotten into it, but the prize pool at $500,000 is huge. Okay, when I won BlizzCon, I won $30,000. If that prize pool was doubled, I would have won 60 grand. Okay, and that's approximately quick maths 100% increase. So we're really happy about that. But does that actually make up for what they did last year? I would say no. You know what I mean? This should have been the prize pool last year without a doubt. But hopefully they continue to make this the prize pool. I think it was smart by them to not do another crowdfunding. I think they would have absolutely got smashed. But I'm happy about the $500,000 prize pool. And one thing I didn't really touch up on was everything was going to be streamed on YouTube. World of Warcraft is moving to YouTube. World of Warcraft, all the esports are moving to YouTube. This is something that I don't really think is going to be that great for esports personally, but maybe in the grand scheme of things, it'll be better. I don't know. I think viewership is going to be incredibly low. The only question is, does the viewership justify everything else that Blizzard's doing? Like, basically, if the viewership is bad for WoW esports, they can it, because the viewership's going to be worse. But maybe it has something to do with maybe more people watching the VODs, or maybe they're getting a huge deal from YouTube, which allows them to actually increase WoW esports. But I'm not happy about it being on YouTube, and I'm not super happy about the one LAN this year. But I feel like, you know, moving forward, everything could be, it could work out pretty good. Basically, this is the first year where Blizzard's basically saying, we're having tournaments next year. You know what I mean? So we're in 2020 right now, and they're already planning tournaments for 2021, which is someone who does this as a full-time job. I feel pretty good about that. You know what I mean? The prize pool's increasing. They're already, you know, telling us plans for next year. So overall, I would say this announcement is not bad. I'm not going to say it's the greatest announcement, because, you know, living in the moment, I feel like, you know, we are getting kind of shafted this year, but I understand as a competitor. Yeah, I think overall everything should be good. So still some pretty exciting stuff, and I'm ready to take some dubs, boys. How do you guys feel about everything I just discussed right there?
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you never